What's up, guys? I'm Chris Carpenter. I'm here with Tammy, the owner of Les Petites Cafés Fleuris and Lavender and Thyme. It's an honor to be here with you. Tammy, tell me, how did the cafe and Lavender and Thyme get started?
I loved Moscow as a kid, but every student that I know of, or virtually all, want to leave Moscow because there's this idea that there's someplace out there that's better.
Yeah.
And I actually went away to school in Seattle. While I was there, went to Argentina on a one-way ticket. My mother cried for 2 weeks, but I knew that this was what I wanted to do. And I've always been a little bit of a risk taker, and I always think, God's going to take care of me. I'm not too afraid of that. I went to France for the first time, and then I went back again for a floral design class, which was really great. And I just thought, I love it. I felt like they were my people, and that we needed some of that beauty and just the lifestyle here in Moscow. I didn't know that I would be back in Moscow at least, but I did end up back here. I had a friend I'd been hanging out with in the floral business, and she was leaving town. So I told her I was going to take her website, her phone number, and her customers, and change the name and start my own business. While I was here, GNC was next door, and I knew that they were kind of looking to get into the other mall. And I'd also watch all of the parents and moms and going back and forth down to the play area and thinking, somebody needs to put in a coffee shop, and it's going to be me. As soon as, but I had to wait for GNC to go out, and then as soon as they did, I basically went to the mall manager and said, I want to put in a cafe. Don't know anything about running a cafe, but we need one.
What's been your favorite thing about being a business owner in Moscow?
The people, definitely. Just the connections I've made, the people I've gotten to know that I wouldn't have normally.
Let's say it's my first time coming into Lavender and Thyme. What would you recommend I get, or who should I talk to?
Designer's choice is always going to be the best. Especially talking to you, I'll get an idea of what it is you really want. I think about textures, I think about scents, I think about shapes, I think about all of that stuff. And I don't just throw stuff in a vase and say, here you are. Flowers can really bring beauty into someone's life. The way the colors are put together, they can speak different things. Flowers actually have a lot of meaning. And I honestly think about that a lot when I'm putting together a flower arrangement. Because beauty has a way of, getting into our souls. And I kind of think of it as poetry in a way.
So let's say it's my first time coming into the cafe. Where should I start? What would you recommend I get?
Well, of course, a latte. We use purpose roasters for our lattes. The cold brew and the drip is all from Camiac, which is here in town. Awesome. But if you're going to have a pastry, you need to have a croissant.
Okay.
I've even had people who have visited France and have spent quite a bit of time there tell me that they're as good as the ones in France.
Wow.
And they are nice and crispy, like the French croissants. That is the French way.